Welcome to Quail's Knitting Nest. My name is Joy, and today I'm very excited and happy to have Margie back on the podcast.
Thank you, Joy.
Margie was last on in March of 2023.
Oh, wow.
So it's been over 2 years.
Okay.
Oh, wow. We need to get you on more often, I think.
Life happens.
I know.
Knitting, probably too much. At least that's what my friends tell me. Trying to alternate knitting with my other interests, such as sewing, garment sewing, and hand embroidery.
Oh, tell us a little bit about the sewing, because you are part of the guild, right?
Yeah, the American Sewing Guild. I was a sewist way before I was a knitter. I sewed when I was a child, and when I got pregnant with my first son, that's when maternity stores charged you an arm and a leg for clothing, and I couldn't afford it. So the old sewing machine came out. I started sewing, got into it in a really big way, continued doing like a lot of tailoring. I made my niece a knitted intarsia baby blanket. And you know how the back has to, the back of intarsia is never pretty. So I decided I was going to cover it with a piece of nice soft flannel. So now most of my wardrobe is hand sewn, it's machine sewn. And
down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I definitely went down that rabbit hole, but I do love it. So I try to alternate. I figure it's good for my hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what the problem with the sewing is when you're used to knitting, it can take for me, it takes me 2 to 4 weeks to knit a garment, because I usually am using lighter weight yarns and whatever. That's a lot of knitting in 2 to 4 weeks. When you're sewing, that top can be done in a day. Now, if you sew all the time, you end up with a closet with way, what do you do? So sewing is almost too fast when you're used to the pace of knitting.
Yeah. Well, tell us about this lovely top that you're wearing.
Oh, this is an older pattern. Not sure when I did it. I'd have to look that up, but it's at least a few years old. It was a pattern out of Vogue Winter 2019-2020 called Number 17 Topiary by Joan Forgione. Not sure what her name, how to pronounce that last name. The yarn is Delgarn Svale, which is unfortunately discontinued. Very nice yarn though. It's like I think it's a cotton rayon silk.
Oh, okay.
Or viscose silk.
Yeah, it does have a little bit of sheen to it.
Mm-hmm. It's a really nice. It's very heavy, which is rayon. Rayon's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Do you want to stand up and show us the back? Do lean the other way. There you go. So this light catches it. That's beautiful. Yeah.
So it's just twisted traveling ribs, traveling cables.
Yeah. It's lovely.
Thank you.
So this is one I made last spring. It's called the Heavenly Blue Cardigan by Candace Eisner Strick.
I love Candace. And we did not plan this. I swear we didn't.
Well, mine are twisted. I don't have twisted stitches, but I do have cables and lace. And this is Juniper Moon. Is it Zooey or Zoe? Do you know how to pronounce it?
I thought it was Zoe.
I've heard people call it Zoe, but it's written like Zooey. So in my head, every time I see the word, I think Zooey.
It's beautiful,
and it's cotton linen, and it has stretched. It has really gotten very stretchy and drapey. So periodically, whether it needs it or not, I wash and dry it, and it comes right back up. And it had really loose cuff. So on the Fruity Knitting episode where she was talking about smocking, and how it can draw fabric
You
in.
Did some elastic thread?
No, I just did straight smocking around the wrists, and
nice.
It's just enough. Like it's getting kind of loose now. I'm about due for a wash and dry, but once it comes out of the dryer, it fits right up against my wrist, nice and tight. But it always stretches out. But without the smocking, it was driving me crazy. I couldn't stand how loose and droopy the armhole was there at the wrist.
Well, between cotton and the
Linen.
viscose. It
Cotton
doesn't.
linen, no.
Cotton and linen.
Yeah.
Linen wants to drape, and cotton has no memory, no recovery.
Yeah. And then I wish that I had put smaller buttonholes. I did 2-stitch buttonholes, and I should have just done one because they stretched all out. And then I wished I had done them more. I only did, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I didn't want to have like 10 buttonholes. But then in the end, I wound up putting in snaps because when I do button the whole thing, it has the gapping issue. So if I snap it together, then it holds better.
Do you ever go and take some thread or some yarn and sew around your buttonholes?
I have, and in fact, I might have done this for that. I can't remember, but I have done that in the past. Well, show us something that you brought, or you didn't bring. I brought. We're at Margie's house today.
So this is a new favorite. I think it's going to get a lot of use. It's a cardigan, an open front. That is the back.
Very nice.
And the front is very, very plain. And it's lace weight linen that was purchased in Amsterdam. Just to go in my stash. I really didn't know what I was going to do with it. Because what do you knit in lace weight linen that is not a shawl?
Yeah.
But this was an older pattern that I found. Rocio by Hoagie Locatelli.
Oh, okay.
And definitely an old pattern from her. Did make some modifications because it has this a garter band right here that because of the looseness of the gauge you really don't see, but the skirt part after that has increases, but I didn't really want it ballooning out on me. So I made less increases. It's a little bit more tailored. And when you go to a restaurant in the summer and it's so cold and air conditioned, this is like the perfect kind of weight sweater.
Nice.
To throw on there.
Oh, does it have noops in it or bobbles?
Yep. And again, because of the looseness of the gauge, it's not going to really show up like a wool lace weight would have. But
if you put the right color behind it, it'll show.
Yeah.
It'll pop.
But it'll wear and be softer and softer and more lovely.
Yeah. Well, I'm teaching at Knitters Day Out this September, and in recent years, they've been doing a cowl knit along every year. And this one is called the Ruby Cowl by Danielle Gallagher. I didn't really care for the sample, which was very bright. It was like turquoise background with a bright red contrast. So I rooted through my stash and I tried to find colors that I would like in this particular pattern. And it's written with all different options. So you can do as many rows of the garter as you want, as many rows as the mosaic section, the crosses that you want, and it's very changeable. So if you look on Ravelry, every single cowl is a little bit different based on how people chose to make theirs. And I just used this out of stash scraps. The brown was a Fiber Company yarn that I made a sweater for my husband out of, and I just love this yarn.
What's the yarn called?
It doesn't have a name. It just, on the label, it just says the Fiber Company Aran, and that's all it says. It does say it's alpaca Corriedale silk or something.
It's really soft.
It's lovely yarn.
How many cowls do you have?
Well, I give mine away because I don't wear cowls. I don't wear cowls. So every time I make one, I give it away.
That's funny.
But I have made quite a few in my day. And I've been making these Knitters Day Out ones every year just to join in the fun of the knit along.
How many years have you been teaching at Knitters Day Out?
Well, I started in 2004, and I've only missed maybe 2 of those years. So I've knit,
That's
almost
a lot.
20 years there, or taught, Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. Now, did you go there before you were a teacher?
No, we moved to Pottstown in 2003. I joined the Brookside Knits that fall, and the leader, she was recruiting people for Knitters Day Out, and I guess she had taught there previous years, and they are always looking for teachers, always, always, always. So if you would like to teach a Knitters Day Out, let them know. So right away, she said, "Well, would you like to teach at Knitters Day Out?" And I said, "Sure, why not? I'll give it a shot." So in 2004, that first year, I went as a teacher. Like you were talking about how in the day when you don't have money to buy maternity clothes or whatever, at that time I didn't have money to buy yarn. So one of the perks of teaching at Knitters Day Out was they paid you in market dollars. So not only did I get to teach, but then I got to spend my market dollars and buy stuff in the market.
Nice.
All right, what else you have?
Well, this is another sweater that Joyce saw in progress early spring at the Lancaster Yarn Retreat.
Yeah.
And where I was trying to figure out how to modify. A lot of sweaters I end up modifying because I'm just picky. And
Is there ever a sweater you've made without modifying?
yeah.
Okay. Few and far between.
But it's few and far between, yeah. So probably make the camera, like, people get ill from too much vibration. I don't know. This is called the Braided Bread sweater by Jenn Lampen. And the yarn is Brooklyn Tweed Peary.
It's
Unfortunately, it's a Brooklyn Tweed has discontinued all the beautiful yarns.
Yeah.
But it's a cabled brioche.
Let's hold it closer so they can see the detail. Oh yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah, it was a definite labor of love. A lot of knitting, ripping.
Did you have a few miscross cables?
Shut up. I laugh at that because she knows that I did, because she pointed them out to me at the retreat. I knew I had one, and she found like 3. I don't know. But it all had to be ripped out anyhow, because this has been really the whole arm side, which is the armhole, has been redesigned. The sleeve was totally redesigned. In fact, what I ended up doing, rather than recreate the wheel, I went and bought another one of the designer's patterns, also in brioche, fingering weight brioche, that the sleeve fit better, and I utilized elements from both patterns to redo the sleeve. There's a real issue with this pattern.
Yeah.
I mean, the schematic doesn't even remotely look like anybody's arms other than maybe a doll's. And
So you wouldn't recommend this for a beginning knitter?
No. But it was really a challenge to figure out what was going on in the original pattern that made it look like it was pulled and had like a tuck in the arm. But regardless, I'm really happy with this. So
yeah, beautiful.
hoping
and it's
that
the
I
same
can
on
get
the
some
back.
wear.
All of that, beautiful. Did you do it in the round or piece?
Pieced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got your seams there. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So hopefully it won't give me a headache when I'm wearing it because it's so darn busy. But, it was an interesting challenge, and Lord knows that I do like a good challenge.
And that'll be, even though it's fingering, being 2-color brioche, it'll be quite warm.
Yeah. It's very plush, very squishy.
Mm-hmm. This is a little shawl that I whipped up. I saw the pattern on Ravelry, and I was really taken with it. The pattern, I'll put a picture of the pattern photo up here because it's a kind of a darkish yarn, and then these were done in bright yellow, so they really popped, and it's called StjerneStund by Cita Steinmeier, and which StjerneStund means star moment. So these were like little stars popping out of a dark blue background. And I really liked it, and I was also intrigued by the pattern, and I wanted to, part of me just wanted to know how it was made, and the other part just enjoyed the pattern. So hers was with a self-striping yarn, and mine, this is a hand spun that I got from the Lehigh Valley Fiber Festival.
It looks like an Estonian stitch. Is it? Do you know?
So this is my yarn. It's called Drop Spindle by Jennifer Bauer. The stitch is actually the same stitch. If you've ever done the assigned pooling patterns by Dawn Barker, this little star stitch is that same stitch that she uses. I don't know where she got it originally, so maybe
I'd have to look at it.
Yeah.
I haven't done the assigned pooling there.
But it's basically knit 5 elongated stitches, and then on the back row, as you come back on the back row, you knit 5 together, yarn over, knit 5 together, yarn over. So you're knitting 5 together, so you're decreasing down to 1 stitch, but then you do yarn over, knit in, yarn over to increase it back to the 5 stitches. And that's how you get this little star guy, which if I stretch it out, kind of shows up a little bit better.
Very pretty.
And then the rest of it is just basic slip stitch.
Now, will you keep it?
I might. I might, because this is a nice short size, and I will often, especially in fall and spring, just throw on a little scarf about this size just to cover the back of my neck. Because in winter I'm wearing turtlenecks, so I don't need the back of my back of my neck is already covered. But in fall and spring, when I have not wearing turtlenecks, then I almost always need something to cover the back of my neck. So, and this is the perfect size for that.
It is.
So I might keep this one. We'll see. If I go through the year and end up not using it, then I'll donate it. But if it gets use, I will keep it. And the pattern was very plain because she was using a self-striping yarn. So I changed the increases from knit 1 front back to yarn overs just to give it a little visual interest. And then I added the picot edging for the same reason, just to give it a little.
So you modified too.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's that. What else have you got to show us today?
How about a pair of socks?
Yes, let's.
So
They're cute. So it has it on the outside, but the inside is just flat. And then, it's on the toe as well.
it's on the toe, and it's asymmetrical. So
Yeah.
one side, if you turn it this way, you can actually see how it goes up,
Oh, right.
which I think is really kind of fascinating. The pattern is called Twinkle Toes by Reneé Rockwood. The yarn is Jagerspin sock and some leftover periwinkle sheep wink, which has sparkle in it. You can't really see that.
Sheep wink, huh?
Periwinkle sheep wink.
Oh, okay.
Wink is the name of the kind
base?
of yarn.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's definitely is sparkly, and this was just left over from a project, so just the right amount. It uses, the pattern suggests using the Ladderback Jacquard, which I've never done before. So I'm always on the lookout for a new technique, whether it's a cast on or a bind off or a Ladderback Jacquard. If you look at the top portion of this, that's regular stranding, just good old-fashioned stranding. And you look at this bottom part, and it kind of like looks like really super long floats. It's not. I can put my finger in there. It's like a cage. And you add those stitches. The Ladderback Jacquard method came from machine knitting.
Yes.
And it's really very fascinating. It's a great thing to do if you need to strand over a long distance.
Mm-hmm.
So I have sweaters that, the color work is going down, getting less and less and less. And you have to strand over 20 stitches. You've got to catch those long floats. When you catch the long float, you're going to get a little color blip on the right side.
Yeah.
With this, there is no color blip. And so I wish I had known this technique before doing some of those sweaters. Mm-hmm. For a sock, I don't know that I would do it again, even though it's stretchier than stranding, but you're still getting a double thickness because you've got that cage.
Right. Yeah.
And on my feet, I feel it. It's a little odd. It's not uncomfortable. It's just odd. I don't think I would do it again for socks just because it's not really worth it. But I'm really glad I learned the technique. This sock uses, that color work that's down here at the peak, it's being used for 1 or 3 stitches across
the entire
all
round.
64 stitches, I think.
Yeah.
Like, really? So at that point, I just cut the yarn, left the long tail, and brought it up intarsia-wise for those few. I'm not going to create the Ladderback Jacquard cage to go all the way around for 2 or 3 or 1 stitch. That's kind of ridiculous. But like I said, I think it's a great technique to learn, and I'm happy with the way that the socks look. I did find she does a link for the Ladderback Jacquard method in the pattern. I ended up watching around 4 different videos, and all 4 of them said something different.
Yeah.
And then I finally found one video that was longer, of course, than everybody else's, but it showed all the different ways of doing it, the whys and the wheres, and that why you might want to choose one over another. And of course, that appealed the most to this.
Send me the link and I'll put it in the show notes.
It's actually it's a YouTube video from Knitting by Phrancko.
Oh, Phrancko, sure.
Phrancko.
Yep. He does great videos.
And like I said, I think it was like a 40-minute video, but I'd never heard of him before. And he just kind of broke it all down, why, how some people do it and how he likes to do it and why.
Yeah, I'll put that link in the show notes so that if you want to go watch that video too, you can. The brown sweater that I made for my husband out of this yarn, I used his pattern for.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he's a designer as well.
Well, what he did was he wrote an online computer program. So you do a swatch and you plug in your numbers and it spits out a pattern for you. And he has a particular way, like all of his sweaters are basically designed the same way, although there is a top-down formula, because he used to be a computer programmer, and then he's also a knitter. So he designed this computer program, and you pay whatever, $6, you put in your information, and it spits out your pattern for your size. But those are beautiful socks, and it's fun to dabble in the new techniques, right?
It's what keeps
Fresh.
even when you're an expert or master knitter,
Right.
there's always something new to learn.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about knitting.
Yeah.
There's always something new.
I made this little sweater.
Aww.
This is called the East Putney Aran by Melissa Johnson.
That's a pretty sweater.
And if you want to hold that, I'll get my book out.
It's got some weight on here.
So it's from this book, 99 Yards of Counting, from the Green Mountain Spinnery. And their version is in white. That's the picture of it. They do the sleeves bottom up and then sew them, but I did my sleeves top down. So this is Plymouth Select DK Merino Superwash. It's
Some of that
the DK version. And it's heavy because it's merino and it's all those cables. Yeah, this is size 2, so it should fit. I made this for my piano tuner's son, who is going to be 18 months when I see him in October. So hopefully
It's really beautiful.
it'll fit him this winter.
It's really beautiful. Wow, that's a DK, you
Yeah.
said?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like teeny tiny little besize needle.
I don't remember, but probably a 4.
Beautiful.
Yep. And I put my little quail's nest and tag in there. Not that he knows what quail's nest is, but it's in there for the little guy. Oh, and one other modification I did was the increases right here for the bringing out the V.
Mm-hmm.
They had done back-to-back increases, so that I looked every single picture online. When you do adjacent increases, you get that little stretching between the stitches. So instead of that, I did a single double decrease up the center to keep it tidy
Very
in
nice.
the middle.
Yeah, I think that makes it look nicer.
Yeah. So I did finish a sweater.
There you go. You do so many accessories.
I do,
though,
yeah. Especially in the summer. That's when I crank out all these little things.
So that you don't have the weight of a full heavy wool sweater.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. This week, all of a sudden, it got chilly.
Yeah, we'll see what next week brings.
Right.
Another 90 degrees.
Summer's not over yet.
All right, so then my
we
next
have the mannequin.
one is another summer sweater. I'll see if I can bring this over here.
Over here.
This is actually, as much as I like it, it's a fail. It's a fail for me. It's not a fail for my friend Amanda, who's going to be getting this sweater. So it's yarn that I purchased in Scotland, Eden Cottage yarn, Titus 4-ply, which is, I think it's merino and silk, but it really has, it's really, really, really drapey, as you can kind of see.
Yeah.
It's the summer Umbria top, which is one of those trending sweaters right now. I had purchased the yarn for a different sweater and it didn't work. The gauge was too loose for it. So what do you do when you only have a few skeins? You look for other patterns. Yeah, it works well with it. It just, once it was blocked, it went out in size and it was dry. I picked it up and I went, yeah. It's a little closer fitting for me than I'm comfortable wearing. Like in my age, I really don't need to show every lump and bump, and I got lumps and bumps. But it's a very pretty sweater, and my tiny little friend will enjoy it.
It does really feel.
It really
luscious.
feels nice.
Yeah.
I think if it had, the original pattern called for like a cotton or cotton and linen yarn, that would have actually had less drape. It had a little bit more structure. I do have an issue with the way this is knitted with a knit-on band. That's not my favorite.
Did you change needle size?
No, because you're knitting it on as
Right.
you knit the project. You know, that's a floppy band. If you
Yeah.
look, even the designer's page, if you look at it, it's all rippling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's doing that,
Yeah.
which I don't like. If I were to make a band like that again, I would either reinforce it with grosgrain ribbon on the back side or sew it closed.
What about knitting the band separate and then attaching it after?
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do that again. I mean, you could have definitely done that and gotten something much sturdier.
This is a scarf.
Oh, look how pretty.
One of the vendors at Knitters Day Out, she has had this scarf on her table for a few years, and every time I walk past it I think, oh, that is so pretty and I want to make it. And last year I took a picture of it, found the pattern online, and I stuck it in my queue. So it's been in my queue since last September. And now it's summertime and I'm doing all my little small projects. And I thought it would be a great stash buster, which it was. I dumped out all of my little balls of fingering yarn onto the floor and I sorted through them. And I tried to come up with colors that kind of went together. And this is what I ended up with. And this was a lot of fun to make. You start here at the tip. Oh, I should tell you what it is. It's called the Lindal Torkle by Wolten, Wolden, which I think means something about, it has to do with the linden tree. Anyway, you start here at the tip, you cast on all the stitches and you knit back. And then you change colors and knit all the way down and all the way back. And then you change colors again back to the green. Well, you knit all the way down and do the short rows down there, and then you come all the way back and do the short rows down here, and then so you've only done half of the short rows, and then you pick up what she calls the contrast color, the dividing color between the other colors, and you do that all the way down and back, and then you do this peach section all the way down, short row, all the way back, short row, and then you move on. So you've only done half of the short rows. So when you're halfway done the scarf, it's like here. This is the middle. And then you go and do the reverse all the way back out. Is how you knit it. So so one of these edges is the cast on edge and one of these edges is the bind off edge.
And it's all garter. It feels like you were using like a Shetland yarn.
Well, they're all different yarns from my stash, so I don't remember what they all were.
Wow.
Anyway, they're all different yarns, but they're all fingering weight.
They're beautiful. I love the colors. Fun. Now how will you
It's
wear it?
fun. This is super awkward to wear because you can't really show it off. The best way, I think, is just to wear it like this, because then you can see the ends.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe just like this under a coat.
Yeah, I can
or
see
something.
that.
Yeah. So it'd be a light scarf for late fall, early winter, just under a coat like that. It's probably how I would wear it. Not sure. I'm probably going to give this one away. I am a scarf wearer. However, I don't know. We'll see.
I have piles of scarves that I don't wear. Piles of shawls too. Piles of everything.
Well, I'm the type of person, if it doesn't get worn in 1 or 2 years,
Out it goes.
Yeah, out it goes. Somebody will get it. So that's my last finished object for today. Do you have any more?
I have one more.
Okay.
And my most recent make.
Ooh.
And I'm very happy with this one. After this fail, this.
Yeah, similar color wheelhouse there.
Yes, actually, this yarn was purchased
For
make
this pattern, okay.
And despite the designer calling for a fingering weight yarn, the knitted gauge was a DK weight. So she says in the pattern, if you don't like the fabric, you can go up to a DK. Had I to do it over again, I won't. I would have used a sport weight because it's kind of heavy. It's not too heavy, but it's close to being too heavy.
Yeah.
This is Finley DK, Juniper Moon Finley DK. So it's a 50-50 wool and silk. I thought it was going to be a little lighter. The stitch definition is exquisite.
It's beautiful.
And you can see it coming, that twisted stitch right up the sides to the underarm. Whoop.
There we go. Lovely. Yeah.
And of course, modifications to this.
Is this the one where the neckline was too
high?
high?
So I have an issue. There's one very popular designer right now. Oh, I didn't say the name of it. It's Tolosa by Audrey Borrego. And the pattern's really well written, but the neckline, it looks like it's choking the designer.
Yeah.
As well as most of the people that have made it.
So like if you had the backside up, it'd be right
up. And there's a very well-known popular designer who has even written a book, and she makes most of her patterns with that neckline. And being a sewer, I know how uncomfortable that is to wear. So
well, even as a person who wears clothes.
Yeah. But like you're warned as a sewer, to not do that. So certainly as a knitter, I'm not going to do that. But it was a top-down sweater with raglan shaping. So I wasn't really sure, and I didn't feel like spending a week swatching and playing around to get that neckline right.
So
so I did a provisional cast on, and I cast on the amount of stitches that was after her setup and her short rows, and I took that number and I just went down I did that on waste yarn. Finished the sweater, and the neckline was like really wide and floppy. Oh, and then what I did is instead of doing it in the round, I just cast it on 2 extra stitches. Back and forth until I had the amount of stitches that I needed. But it was like really wide, really floppy, and I knew then that I was going to do the original neck. I wasn't sure whether I would need the short rows to raise the back. I did do that, and I almost kind of overdid it a little bit. I was really hoping for a little bit more of a scoop in the front, but it looks really nice.
Yeah, I think it turned out great.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it.
So is that the first time you've played with a neckline in that particular method or way of doing it?
I think so.
Sort of on the fly as you were knitting down?
Yeah, I think so. I have enough experience to kind of guesstimate how something is going to work, and I'm relatively fearless, so if it doesn't work, something else will. So what are you working on?
I am working on my Persian Dreams blanket by Janice Hope. I have one more hexagon, so this is number 21.
Wow.
And then I'm almost finished number 22. So here it is on the needles. It's a mess at the moment. It's all puckery, and I haven't closed my center hole yet.
Wow.
And these are the yarns that I'm using for this set of patterns.
And how many are there total?
24.
So
Yeah.
next month it should be done.
Well,
Or the month
the
after.
hexagons will be done.
Well, yes. Hex-
Probably not the blanket. So
Oh,
I'm
look how
using
light that one
these two. This one goes from almost white to gray to orange, and then this one goes from like dark charcoal to light charcoal and back again. So I'm pairing them.
How many balls of Connie has this taken?
Not sure, I'd have to figure it out, but I know each hexagon weighs almost 40 grams.
And what's a ball?
A ball is 150. So I can get 3 hexagons out of each ball. So 24 times 3, no, divided by 3 would be 8 balls.
8 balls total, or 4 balls of each a light and a dark.
Well, most of them I did 1 ball knitting from both ends. This is one of the few that I've actually used 2 separate balls for. I think I started with 10 balls maybe, but I have 3 left, something like that.
Well, that makes sense, because if you have 2 left to do after this.
Yeah. So
You'll
yeah,
probably have a little bit
about
left.
8 balls, I would say.
Are you excited that you're getting to that tail end?
Yes. Fortunately, this last stitch pattern is one I'm really enjoying. I really like how this plays out, because after doing the previous set of 4, I didn't like the pattern, and I was definitely getting hexagon fatigue for sure, but I really like this pattern, so it's fun to knit it.
When did you start this?
It's been almost 2 years. Wow. Yeah. Fun most of the way. It was just that last
And you
pattern
are
that
going
really
to keep this one, right?
hit the slog. Originally, I was not going to, because I wasn't crazy about the colors, but I've come to appreciate them as I've knit them, and I've also come to appreciate it's Connie, so it's very scratchy. So I guess I've decided to keep it. The question is, where will it live in my house? Will it take center stage in the living room, or will it go on one of the beds? I don't know. We'll see. But I am nearing the finish line. So
How long do you think it'll take you to sew it together? Are you going to crochet it, or?
I was thinking of doing 3 needle bind off, which would take a while, but I like the way that it looks. That nice tidy ridge going. Because I'm going to do the ridge on the
live
top.
stitches.
Yeah, I have live stitches. So I did take one section of the hexagon, so here to here, 3 needle it to the same section of an adjacent one. So just be a little bit at a time, and then add another one.
Yeah, I like that idea.
And then I'm going to do it with the ridge on the top, so it gives me a little ridge on the surface to distinguish between the hexagons.
Is that what she recommends, the designer?
I don't even know. I don't think I've read that far into the pattern. But the end is in sight.
Yay.
I'm excited. Yes. And I'm probably not going to do another block of the month type thing, at least not for a while.
Done
This
that
is the third one.
I remember the brown.
The brown and
one.
white one. Yeah. That was the one I did right before this one. Yeah. And that one currently lives on my couch in prime observation space. Yeah.
I have knitted blankets, and they live in plastic bags in my closet.
Such a shame, especially that gorgeous one you did by Denise, the same designer.
I know. My current work in progress, it's not already a fail, but it's a disappointment, because nothing's wrong with the pattern. It was just my choice of yarn. I seem to keep having these issues. I'm using Remix Light, which is a recycled fiber. It's 30% nylon, 27% cotton, 24% acrylic, 10% silk, and 9% linen. It's very soft. In my opinion, it's 100% of whatever fibers they swept up up from the floor and through into the spinning machine.
Yeah.
This triggers my OCD like nothing else. I have to constantly stop and pull out wiry bits or vegetable matter, the dust from the floor, the dust bunny from the floor, whatever the heck that is. It triggers me. And I don't know why I'm using it. It also has, it's really soft. It really feels nice, but it has no stitch definition. And the pattern that I'm making is a little summer short sleeve top called the Frost Flower Cardigan.
Pretty.
And you've got that beautiful lace work on the back, of which in this yarn you can't see you see the holes in it, obviously.
Yeah.
But all of those knit two togethers or purl two together, you can't, there's no definition.
Yeah, the holes are there, but the pattern gets lost.
The pattern gets lost.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. And then if I hold it from the front, now this doesn't have the ribbing on it yet, but that's the way.
So it gets ribbing in addition to this?
Yes, so it's a wide ribbed band.
Okay.
It's worn open, not closed.
Mm-hmm.
And that wide rib band goes from all around the bottom, up the fronts, the neck, and down the front.
Oh, okay.
So then the question is, do I just pull it all out,
Finish it or frog it?
finish it, or frog it? Yes.
Shall we ask the listeners?
Yes! But you have to tell me right away.
Yes. Let us know. Should she finish it or frog it? What do you think?
I mean, it's soft, it's a pretty color. Joy said, well, the lace is in the back, so you won't see it, so you won't even be constantly reminded and annoyed by it.
Yeah.
I could definitely see making this again with a cotton yarn or a wool yarn that has the stitch definition, and maybe I would do that one in long sleeves because I have the perfect yarn for it. Why I use this, I don't know. Oops, we all make mistakes, right? But like I said, it'll be nice and comfortable to wear, but that lace work looks like a little, there's a Yiddish word, a schmata. Like a rag you throw on, and that's what it's going to kind of look like. Yeah, I'll be wearing my grandmother's schmata. But that's it for me.
Yep, that's it for me too. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast with me, Margie.
And thank you for having me.
It's
as always, Joy.
fun to see what you're working on and what you've made.
And the mistakes that one makes.
Yeah, I mean,
and things that one learns.
Every day is a new day. Learn something new, make a mistake, and move on.
Move on and try to do better the next time.
Yeah.
All right, Joy.
Have a good summer, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.